You are listening to Stages Podcast with Mary Lee Fairbanks and Stephanie J. Block. Welcome to Season 6. Here on Stages Podcast, we go behind the scenes and beyond the resume to explore the crossroads of creativity, spirituality, motherhood, and so much more. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. Give us 5 stars and a great review. It really helps us grow. Thanks for joining Stages Podcast, Season 6.
Jessica Fosse,
it's nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
It's
This
so
is my
great
dear
to,
friend Mary Lee.
I've been a watcher and listener of your podcast. So
I love it.
Nice.
so you guys are amazing. Hey Kelly, hey girl.
Hi, honey.
You know, our relationship started in a show when I was 20, going on 21, and we wrote letters for about 2 decades to keep in touch. This one. Before there was the internet. Yeah, very, very.
Used to write letters.
Yeah.
That's so Birdie and Cece. That's crazy.
I know.
Very beaches coded. Very
And
beaches
it's
coded.
like there's an intimacy that comes with letter writing that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
It's so funny because she, she would always sign them with hearts and flowers and angel wings. And I would sign it with, "You are a freak."
Yeah. Shut up, freak. Till next time.
I'm obsessed.
Guys, that's why it
Be
works.
like, until next time, be well, sending you love. She's like,
Love and
shut
hearts
up,
and
idiot.
flowers. Like, shut up. You're
Bye.
such a dweeb.
That's why the marriage works, you
At
guys.
least I was
That's
going
why
to
the
say, I
marriage
think that's
works.
probably why
Givers
you're
and
so
takers.
close.
Givers
Toughen
and
up.
takers.
Today, we have a twofer, people, and what a powerhouse team we have. First, we have Miss Jessica Vosk, whose Broadway credits include Bridges of Madison County, Finding Neverland, Fiddler on the Roof, She's a Wicked Gal, and just finished in Hell's Kitchen. She voices the character of Lute in the adult animated musical series Has Been Hotel, and she is also very well known for her hilarious Vosk in the City web series, where she conducts unhinged interviews with locals and celebrities on the streets of New York. We also have Kelli Barrett. Kelli has graced the Broadway stage in Dr. Zhivago, The Royal Family, Parade, and also She's a Wicked Gal. She received raves for her portrayal of Liza Minnelli in the FX miniseries Fosse, Verdon, and has many, many more TV and film credits. Jessica and Kelli will take the stage together this spring in Beaches, the musical, in the roles of Cece Bloom and Birdie White. The show begins previews on March 27th, and we are so, so happy to chat with them today. Please welcome to Stages Podcast, Kelli Barrett and Jessica Voss.
Yippee!
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I went back and I watched Beaches again, and guys, it hits. I mean, it just hits again as a mom, like it takes on a whole different meaning. Then I realized how much a part of my vernacular it already was. Every time a plant died in my life, I'd be like, suicide. I've been saying that for years, and I couldn't remember that the genesis of that was from Beaches.
Yeah.
Also, since I've been married, he'd be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I think I'm gonna go buy like some scrubbers." He's like, "Why do we need scrubbers?" I don't know. We don't have them. And that too. Remember, doesn't she at a certain point go, "I'm going to buy a wrench"? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have one. So these little like bits of language that have completely integrated into my life came from Beaches, and didn't remember that until I watched it again 3 days ago. Pop culture
Yeah.
seeds
Oh.
that
Big
are like
time.
embedded
Big
in
time.
our body.
Yep.
Tell us the genesis of Beaches, the movie, with you both, and then we'll talk about sort of the incarnation of the stage play. But what was your first introduction to Beaches, the movie?
I can't remember who gave it to me, but it was like all of our musical theater little baby heart Bible, right? It was just the movie we kept going back to because it was Bette Midler, who was, one of our goddesses. And and she was singing up there and she was doing she was embodying everything. And I remember watching going down the rabbit hole with the Divine Miss M. I loved Bette Midler. So I don't remember the very, I was young when it came out, obviously. Oh, my dog's here.
Hi,
So
baby. Cute.
yes, is it perfect? Come, you are camera shy all of the sudden. Usually
That's the
not.
size of my
Oh,
dog's head.
Oh,
same.
you got a big dog.
Big
Anyway,
dog.
but I think I speak for Jess as well, and Jess jump in, of course. But like, it was the film, you watched it, you sang along, you did all the moves with Bet, and you called your friend, and you know, it was about sisterhood and your
Mm-hmm.
best girlfriend and my girlfriends. I know they kept me alive. They were my family. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it was through my mom that I got the education on that era of movie, the terms of endearment, the beaches, the steel magnolias, and it became a film of the VHS, honey. We're talking the
Honey,
VHS.
yes.
And so, you know, the film is a late 80s film. I was an 80s baby. I was probably introduced to it in the 90s. And and again, it was this eye opener of, oh my God, is that kind of life possible? Because
Mm.
that film also is and I tell people this all the time about these characters, is that they're actually quite relatable.
Mm.
They're quite relatable, as far as women in entertainment, as far as, friendship is concerned. It's kind of, we don't get to see stories that the love story is just between two women who are
Mm-hmm.
strictly platonic. And that also is such an eye opener as a young woman watching a show where you're not focused on somebody getting the guy or
Yeah.
somebody, being focused on just that being the thing. These two women, while they are very different, are both completely soulmates.
Yep.
And that was very cool to see. And so it's something we don't still see a ton of in the zeitgeist of film, TV, and Broadway, right? We of course, like, we have three wicked ladies here who got to do a show about best friendship, really, and everything that goes along with that. But there's not too many shows that show this, that really like
Right.
model what friendship is, which is peaks, valleys, and everything in between. And that, I think, you know, is what Beaches represented. To me, it was like, oh my God, Mayim Bialik as a kid. And then, you see her and she's still, such an icon for her work
Oh,
as young Cece Bloom in Beaches.
yeah,
And
totally.
it's been a real incredible, I think, journey to
Yeah.
have been such a freak for the film, such a freak for Bette Midler. I mean, my dressing room in Hell's Kitchen was Bette Midler's
Was it really?
one of Bette Midler's dressing rooms in Hello Dolly, because of
Ah.
course.
Did
But
she move around?
no, she just took
Oh, she took a lot of real estate. I see. I
she
see.
took
I see.
mucho, and that's fine
I
by
see.
me.
Yeah.
But that's again, like Kelly said, it's like she's a titan. She's who I have modeled a lot of my comedy and life after. You see women who create new paths for other women to be able to run down, right? It's like, without somebody like a Bette Midler, of Vosk in the City wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, I
So
wrote down when I was watching the film, I said friendship, love story. And then I looked at the poster for the musical, and I think that's very close to what the tagline is. That's what the
Mhm.
marketing also felt. And you mentioned Wicked, and I was thinking, gosh, does this really parallel Wicked? It does, in the sense that the friendship is there, that the two different personality archetypes are there, but they had to place it in a magical world. This isn't that. This is like
Mm.
real life women with real life struggles, no superpowers to speak of other than their own sort of grit or will or the power of forgiveness or whatever that looks like, right? And you mentioned all these other films, Terms of Endearment, Steel Magnolias. I mean, those ripped our hearts out, but we were hungry for that.
Yeah.
There was something really healing when you would sit and watch women, well, those that I'm going to say women because that's our walk in life. That's how we recognize
mhm.
ourselves. And that's what touches me like right through my gut. So when I would watch those films, whether it's a best friend relationship, a mother-daughter relationship, a sister relationship, there's something so healing when it's like a ugly,
ugly cry.
Mhm.
And they're giving you a permission to say, now is the time, without manipulation. I will say this too. Like, I don't feel like I'm being manipulated by these
Mm-mm.
stories.
No.
I just
Mm-mm.
feel like I'm witnessing a human story that's ripping me apart. And they're saying, this is what these 2 hours are about. And maybe the last 15 minutes, you don't breathe and you cry. But
I think
I yearn for that in the theater. Like, I'm desperate for that in the theater.
Yeah, I think you're right. Even in not just in the theater, but in the movie industry, we don't get those movies
We've lost
anymore.
it.
And let me
And
also
that-
say how a little depressing it is, that you guys had to be shown those movies when we lived through those movies.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was our era.
I was in it.
You know what I mean? It's kind of depressing.
I had
But,
the spirit of bet, but I had the attire of,
Yeah, exactly.
of Barbara Hershey.
So bad.
Well, it's sort of too, it's like the musical itself. I was talking about this yesterday. I'm out here in St. Louis with my fiance because I promised him like some down. He is from St. Louis, and so I was with Mike Isaacson at the Muni yesterday, and we were talking about the fact that this piece, as it's done for the stage, it really is one of those pieces where the cast comes to the audience and doesn't make the audience, in my opinion, feel manipulation or feel like they're the ones who have to make these crazy decisions. I feel like the show is one of those shows that says to an audience, we would love for you to come on a vulnerable journey with us. And that means a lot of different things to different people. And, whatever that is or whatever you take from it is probably going to be rooted in something you've been through or something that, you are on the precipice of being through, right? We have a whole new audience of 2026 that has no idea what beaches is.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
know.
fun.
Isn't that wild? It's fun.
That's really fun.
And it's wild.
And
Tell
it's
me about the score.
wild.
How is this score going to fulfill this story, like you said, with a whole group of people who aren't coming in with a whole lot of knowledge of maybe what Mark Shaman wrote for the movie? Tell us a little bit about the score.
Kelli, you want to start?
Yeah, so it's Mike Stoller and Iris Rainer Dart who wrote the book. Mike Stoller who wrote, every hit that Elvis had, Hound
Lieber
Dog,
and Stoller.
Jailhouse Rock,
Yes.
Lieber and
Yeah.
it's Lieber, he is Lieber and Stoller. It's it's all of Smokey Joe's Cafe and all of that. So the guy can write a hit. He can certainly write a melody that sticks in your head, and he's done a wonderful job with the show. And what I like about it is you get both, right? You get the CC performance numbers, which is like Mike Stoller's wheelhouse, but then you also get some book stuff. We get, we get one really playful duet. We get one really like love song duet together. I get a song, where Birdie's able to stand up to her mother and sort of finally, embody herself in a way that she's never done because of Cece's influence in her life. And so you're getting the tried and true musical theater storytelling part of it, but you're also getting these performance numbers with Cece being a star and being able to come out and like with dancers and stuff. So you're getting a little bit of both. I mean, listen, there are going to be people that are disappointed that some of the movie songs aren't in there, of course, but we're asking everyone to come with an open mind and an open heart. This is a new creation, and we're here to tell the story on the stage, which is just a different medium. We're not going to do the film for you on the stage. We're going to do a staged production of this.
Yeah,
And
so
Iris is in the body of the
yeah.
character. If she wrote the book, Iris is in the body of the character. She knows
Oh, my
how
God.
to speak for them, embody them. Yeah,
And
for
she
sure.
worked with Cher, she wrote on the Cher show, Steph. That's Iris's
Yeah.
origin story.
She's
And-
the first
and
female,
Cece-
first female
and
writer.
Mortified I didn't put that together.
No,
And
no.
Cece is based on Cher.
Stephanie
So
Jeanette
she-
Block, I did not put that together, you guys.
Wild,
Or as
right?
I
Yeah.
like to say, my best friend and I will always not use the correct middle name. So Stephanie Roberta Michelle
Stephanie Josefina, what
Yeah.
were you thinking?
No, Iris, the cool part about this is, and I have said from the beginning, I'm a very honest gal and I'm a very authentic gal. And I wanted people to know from the beginning that you are getting the wind beneath my wings that is in the show. You will hear
Okay.
it. It is these kind of beaches moment. And it's one that Mark Shaman actually really, really picked for the film himself, handpicked. And And Mark wrote a lot of the score too. I mean, Mark is a huge part of the film. And so Mark and I talk about this a lot, and I kind of want to do a couple of fun collabs with him, in addition to all of the incredible music that Mike has written. I mean, we put a little snippet out recently. The Beaches team put a snippet out for people to hear. And I think the cool part of this is, and maybe you'll agree with my thought process here is, people don't know what to expect with Beaches. It's kind of like the little engine that could within this season of like, what are we going to get here if we're not getting the soundtrack of the film? And so the cool thing that we experienced is that a lot of people came and went, ooh, this is a very like jazz. This is giving me Cole Porter and like this is so jazzy, and I'm getting all of these different levels of things. So, it's kind of like we going in with in my opinion, a lower expectation of what people will come to the table with makes it almost that much more pleasing when people come in and go, oh my God, I'm taken back by how much I really enjoy this.
And the snippet that we see, is that the playful duet that Kelli was just speaking of? Yeah.
No. No. This is a new one that was written, but go ahead.
Yeah, they wrote this for us. This actually hasn't found its way into the show yet. It's a recreation of what the Littles sing. We call them the Littles, the children version of us. So they rewrote it with new lyrics for us to do a press thing, and but it actually isn't. It doesn't belong in the show proper, and I don't know if they're putting it in. I'm not quite sure. We'll find out.
It might be like a bonus track situation. It's a theme that exists throughout the show that we sing, but the version...
I saw you both in a recording studio being very charming and very fun. Is that the duet you're speaking of? The playful duet?
That's the one they wrote for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
The other playful one is when I move, we come out to, well, I don't want to give the plot away, but it's when we're finally together in Florida trying to figure out what the hell do we do now. And it's just very cute.
It is really fun. Really fun.
It reminds me of something, but I can't think of, I can't.
There's a lot of old school Judy elements to it. There's a lot of really fun, nods to things like the Cher Show and these old variety shows that, Iris was the first female writer on the Cher Show. I mean, it's a big leap for someone, like her, and what a legacy to have hopped on the Cher Show and been the only woman saying, here's what I can bring to the table. And that's a really, as a woman who likes to try everything and regardless of whether it will fail or succeed, I respect that a lot. I think that also there's a certain nuance to the show that where that exists, where Cece as a person is willing to just throw many forms of pasta on the wall
and see what sticks
and see if anything sticks. And if it doesn't, next. And she just has this fire that I really understand and a grit that I really understand that comes through both this music and lyric and book. I mean, it's a really beautiful like marrying of everything. So I hope I hope the new kids who saw it outside of New York and in Calgary, these young girls especially, were kind of like they were repeat customers, and that makes us happy to see. Just because if you don't know this story or film, or you're coming at it from a Gen Z experience of what the hell is this thing? It's kind of fun to come out going, oh, I didn't know two women can fight that terribly and also still remain best friends.
Well, we talk about that all the time. If you are in it for the long haul, whether it's your partner, your best friends, your family, you're going to hurt each other. There's going to be a lot of hurt. Then you forgive, and then you come back around, and then you hurt, and then you forgive, and then you trust. Like, if you're committed to this long-term relationship, it's bound to happen. Doesn't mean it's going to be malicious. It just happens.
As long as it's not malicious. As long as there's learning that comes from the heart. Right. Yeah. But we had Mark Shaman on a couple of weeks ago, and he told us how he was at a party and you came marching up to him and told him that you loved Otto Titzlinger from the movie. And that you guys sat down together and actually remember. He's like, I didn't think it would come out of my hands, and I sat down, and there it was.
Oh, it's really, again, I am the gal who, growing up, like, would throw the cassette tape of either Beaches or insert Broadway show here and do the entire thing. So Beaches was at the top of that list, and we were at a holiday party, and somebody was like, Jessica loves Bette Midler. Jessica loves Bette. And so I was like, Otto Titzling, and the two of us kind of looked at each other, as you know, deer in headlights, like, oh shit, are we gonna, and
Now what do we do?
it was the most fun moment ever. And knowing he was a co-writer on that makes the most sense, because it's a very Mark piece to have written. But yeah, it's stuff like that, then you go, wow, I'm standing in a room with Mark Shaman and get to do this song together, and what a history he has with this piece and with Bette for so many years. And you just go, pinch me.
Okay, Cal, if there's a musical theater jam session, who's at the piano and what are you singing?
Oh, that's fun. It's probably going to be something like The Man That Got Away.
Yes. Who's
You
at
know,
the
it's going to
piano
be
doing that for you?
who's at the piano? Vadim Feichtner,
Yeah.
maybe Adam Ben David or Ben Cohn.
Yep.
The
Yep.
good ones, the best ones.
The good ones.
The
The good ones that know when we stop breathing, that means perhaps we don't know the next lyric. But we're gonna make this work.
Phil,
right.
Patter,
That's right.
tell a
Yeah.
story.
Have you
Yeah, of
met the
course
littles that play you, and are they the same ones that were with you in college? They had to have grown up, right? Everybody's
Right.
at that age. They go way fast.
I'm sure they shot up way too many inches to do it now, and they did like a worldwide search or something.
Oh, did they
Like
really?
they've really gone for it to find, these children, and especially the little one who plays Cece. She's gotta do all the things.
She
I'm
needs
excited.
Oh yeah.
the internal crackle and zest, and be a total showbiz kid without being a total showbiz kid. Like it just needs to be part of her being. They found them. Names have been released or not yet?
No, names have not been released, but like what, CC has to be able to do a split, and it ain't gonna be me. So,
Hell no.
But the kids in Calgary, I mean, a lot of this will be almost an entirely new cast for Broadway, including the kids. In Calgary, it was mostly locals, and Kelly and I were the only two New Yorkers that came out there. So it was an incredible experience with the kids, and I'm sure, knowing our creative team, they have found the right children
When
for
do
the
you
task,
start
but we don't
rehearsals?
know.
When do you
February
start rehearsing?
16th.
16th, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of
right around the corner.
Help, gotta go.
Yeah, I know. Scratchy, itchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Stages podcast will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Because I think, Jessica, your history is fascinating to me. And it's kind of something that we talk about a lot on this podcast, is sort of like finding your inner voice and finding the courage to go and follow that. And I love that you started out in an entirely different career because you felt like that was what your family, society, the world expected of a young woman. And why would you take a risk and be an actress? And why don't you get a real job and all of that? And it made you so deeply unhappy in your soul after a while. You had no choice but to go after the thing that you knew your soul, your dharma, was screaming for. I know it's a well-known story, but I just want you to talk a little bit about it anyway, because I think it's a really important pathway for young people to hear about when they fight what they know is right for themselves.
Right. When your gut is really your guide.
Yeah. Especially as women, and especially now, because feel like there's like, to go back to Beaches, there is like a sisterhood bonding that's happening, like not only with the younger generation, but with the whole generation of 60s and 50 something menopausal ladies. Like we are all forming these like female, really strong networks, and which is great for Beaches too. But let's just talk about it from that perspective of being a young person and finding that courage to listen to the whisper.
It's hard. And this is something Kelly and I did too when we first got together, because Kelly and I had only met once before we did the show together, and we got together in Calgary and kind of had this kind of getting to know you type session for a moment, which is essentially like this is kind of I've talked about this story, but but my platform has grown in a way where I like to talk about it still, because there are a lot of people who find themselves in positions of wanting to pivot or wanting to try something different and feeling very, very scared to do so. And I think as women, we are universally taught from a young age that like we should question our gut a little bit versus really listening to the voice that we know to be true.
The whispers.
The whispers. I mean, I think we're taught to gaslight ourselves a little bit of kind of exactly that. And so I did that. I went, I did not go to school for theater. I went for investor relations and communications. I got a job in New York City working at a financial firm. And I thought, that was the thing to do that would impress my parents, that would make, me get the health insurance and the 401k and the stability. And as I climbed the ladder corporately, my panic attacks and anxiety also revved up to a point where I didn't really understand what was happening. I didn't understand why my heart was racing or my palms were sweating or why I felt like I couldn't breathe. And at that time, I completely compressed any art. So I wouldn't see any shows. I didn't sing any music. I just sort of, for those 3 years, really,
Was that
really
for preservation, like to
suppressed.
protect yourself from what
I'm
you really
sure
wanted?
subconsciously it must have been. I mean, it must have
Too
kind of
painful.
been one of those things where it's like, well, I'm not doing the thing, so I can't watch the thing. All right. I'm, regardless if I really knew that that's what it was at the time, I think it was some type of self-preservation of my brain wanting to protect myself. But it was really unhealthy. It turned me into a very unhealthy person. And it was that kind of thing where it helped that the market crashed in '08. Condolences to anybody who had issues in '08 with that lovely real estate bubble bursting. But
I
like
love
for
to buy real
me,
estate really high and then sell it really low. So everybody,
goal,
that
right?
is my
Nailed
I'm real
it.
good
We're
at
trying to
that, you
doing
guys.
I mean, yeah.
Buy in 2007 and then whoopsie.
Whoopsie daisy, defaulted on that loan. Yeah, and so it kind of like I took a leap of faith. I asked them to lay me off. It was like an unprecedented thing. They all thought I was nuts. And I babysat all of their kids until, a gig kind of landed in my lap. But there's a part of you that knows that you're doing the right thing. There's a part of me that knew if I don't do this, I might always regret this for the rest of my life, and it will make me a very unhealthy human being. I will.
Did you have a support system behind you in this decision?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I think when my parents were both like, no, it was not great. And I tell kids all the time too. I think like what we find, and I'm sure Kelly, you come across this too, is like, you teach a master class and you talk to these kids who are in school and whether it's high school and they're trying to pick a college, or whether, they're in college and they don't know how they're going to get themselves to New York or LA to do the thing they want to do. It's this enormous amount of pressure of trying to fit a path that you might have seen someone else be really successful at. And my whole ammo in talking to kids or speaking about this stuff is to tell people that if I didn't have my unique path, I would never be where I am right now. If I hadn't gone into finance and I didn't have the head start of going into a theater program, and that I felt like that, it took time for me to understand all the things I had to do to get to where I wanted to go. But it doesn't mean that my path is any worse or better than someone else's. It's
because
just
the life lessons that you picked up along the way were the ones your particular soul needed to learn before you could get where you needed to land. And that's everybody's
hard.
life lessons are different.
It's hard to tell people those things of like, your path is going to be uniquely yours, and it might not mean I graduate college and I'm in a Broadway show. It might be really different, and you have to kind of have faith and grace with yourself to hold on in the moments that suck. I mean, I've been through a lot of moments that suck.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the interesting thing is we're not taught that as young kids. We go to an education system that teaches you to follow the steps, follow the rules. They teach you math in a specific way. And if you say, well, there's another way to do this, they're like, no, we don't do it that way. We do it this way. And I remember I used to say to my son all the time, there's more than one way to any answer, babe. Like, you're not wrong for seeing a different pathway. The school's wrong for telling you that there's only one way to that answer. And I think from a very young age, we're all indoctrinated
That's it. Yep.
into believing that there's a formula. There's one way to do it. This is how good people do it. This is how the right way to do it. And that is so wrong. It's not. There's a million ways to the right answer, and everybody's answer might be a little different, and everybody's pathway has to be different, or how dull would life be?
The woo-woo for me, though, is cliche as it may sound, it's not the right way to something. As you're doing it, that is the something.
Yes.
That is the way. That is the thing. Because
you're not going to somewhere. You're there
if you say yes to the show, that's it. You've said yes to the show and the work.
Preach.
That doesn't mean reviews are coming your way. That doesn't mean anything. Then you get the review and you go, oh, that's kind of nice. That doesn't mean the Tony nomination's coming. Like, all you've got is the thing that you're doing
in this moment.
The moment.
Yeah.
So if you're doing the dinner theater at night while you're doing the thing and you're, the working at a coffee shop during the day, that's the thing, y'all.
Yeah.
Find the beauty in the thing.
And that's why
I'm
you hear
loving
all
the
these
hopes and the
actors.
dreams, but you can't check off, in our industry especially, you can't check off and say, okay, that I did all the things and now I'm supposed to end up here.
And
we've all 19 years to get to Broadway.
We've all heard the same story
years.
with these really successful actors who say, the minute I decided that going into the audition was
that's the
moment
win.
I get to act.
Yeah.
That's when all their stars kind of took off, because that's how the universe is rewarding you.
Danny
for being
Bursting
in the
said,
moment.
I will never be the same. He's like, once you give it away, our art form is about giving it away. We are people of service who give the gift. Yeah. Once you walk into any room and say, thank you so much, here is my gift, the way they receive it is none of your business.
That's right.
Just keep giving away the gift. And that's the thing. If you're searching, what can I get from it? What's this going to get me? What's it going to get me? You've lost your way.
We can take what you're saying, compress it down, multiply it, bottle it, and drink it every morning for breakfast.
Every morning.
Do you know, because this is what I do. So my other huge passion in life, I'm an artist life coach. I started empowered artist coaching. I got my master certification in life coaching. This is what I do every single day with my clients. They come to me and they go, how do I get to XYZ? How do I get there? As if there is some formula, because to your point, Mary Lee, we are taught that there is a linear progression to success and making it in every way. And the fact that they hand these models—
what even is success in making it?
It doesn't matter. Exactly. It's all bullshit, because we're in a capitalist society that's trying to commodify us, to sell us, to make profit, right? You've got to see the systems that you're standing inside of to figure out why they're manipulating you emotionally first, right? You got to call a spade a spade. But to your point, when colleges are doing this, in BFA programs and trying to tell you, well, you do this and then you do this, and oh my God, it's ridiculous. And I keep saying to my beautiful, precious artist heart clients, wherever you are, there you are.
That's it. Be where your feet are. That's it. That's all we got.
Wherever you are, because, I have a client who's in finance. To your point, Jess, also an actor, still doing the finance, wanted to be able to make a great living and is doing that and is miserable. And I say, your misery there is a choice. It is a choice. What are you bringing to your job every day? If you're going to stay there, then how are you being an addition, a blessing? How are you showing up your authentic self in that space? Because you're there. There's nowhere else you can be.
Right.
If you want to leave, you leave.
Your authentic life can't find you. It just can't find you.
That's exactly it, because of energy. We have energy 5 feet on every direction. Mirror neurons. People are going to send back to you what you put out. So bring your authentic artist self to every damn thing you do. And you are in a service industry. We always want to go, what can I get? What makes me feel happy? What makes me? What can you give? What are you here to contribute?
Well, and
because that's the calling.
There's a whole yoga understanding that your destiny is written on the inside of your third eye.
Third eye.
And if you learn to quiet your mind, one day you'll read it. But your destiny can only be found when you ask the question, how can I serve?
Yeah,
How can I serve? Because it's not about the outcome. It's not about the reward. It's about the service, and the rewards come through. And then that's a really hard thing to remember all the time when you're trying to pay bills and you're doing your
Oh, of
taxes, right? I was
course.
doing my taxes yesterday. I was texting stuff. I'm like, you know,
She was
I
not
was
in
in
a
a
good
mood
you
between
all.
the snow
hear
and the
it.
taxes. I wasn't
I
having
had
it.
to get my taxes certified and stand in line at the USPS in Midtown. It was horrible.
So
I
it's
hear you.
hard to
Jessica's like, I did my
maintain that.
taxes in 5 minutes. It was no problem.
Yeah.
I am a genius.
I do not. I go to my accountant.
No,
I
Jess
say,
is like,
"Here's-"
I have a tax person. What are you talking about?
yeah, I
Miss
but
Finance.
but to your point, no, I mean to your point, like I always say to people, there's a part of me, and I'm sure you guys get this question too, is sort of like, oh my God, you won the Tony Award. Like, what's next on the list of the pinnacle of what it is that you want to do? Or you get to create a leading role for the first time. What's next on the list of? And my thing is, I sat at a cubicle for 3 years of my life, and I am lucky to get to do any of this. I'm so lucky that I understand the business of show. That's what all of this finance stuff taught me is it's show business, not show fun. So I get the business aspect primo number one, but I also understand there's never a moment that goes by where I don't go, I'm lucky that I get to be a storyteller. I'm lucky that I get to hope to reach people, which is what I've always wanted to do. The fanfare and the accolades and all that stuff is awesome, but nothing's
it's fine
promised.
to reap the rewards as long as you're not defined by them.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's
Great to get a
right.
Tony Award, but that's not who you are.
But it's not what it should be. It's never
Right.
what it should be about. And I do feel this way. It's like I knew I had to do this. There wasn't a part of me that said, maybe I like this thing and I'm going to try it. Like this is the type of thing that if you really want to do it, you know, go in with your whole ass, whatever that means.
Stages podcast will be right back, so don't go away.
Go ahead.
I want to bridge on, you used, I was in the business. It is called show business. Both of you, I know to be remarkably smart women, remarkably smart. The business part of me now has this aspect of, which I guess it always existed, the self-promotion, what we're doing now, just putting ourselves out there because we are CEOs of our own business. I have a very, very contentious relationship with social media. But Jess, you were kind of a pioneer woman that was like, this has got to be done. This is what links the audiences. This is what links the next generation. They have to know us on a behind the scenes level, on a human level in order to invest. It's almost like the understanding of the reality show, right? Once you fall in love or see these people and you're rooting for them, then all of a sudden you do not only want to see the show, but now you're on the side of this person with whom you're watching embody the character. I have a very complicated relationship with all of this. What is your take? Jess, I know I'm going to take liberties. I know maybe where you're coming from. Kelli, what is your take on the whole social media aspect and how it can buoy, or what's the outlook of that for musical theater now and what we feel we must do in the social media realm?
I will be the first one to say I know very little about how to make it, like Jess does, how to make it work for you, right? Like, I have some ideas of how I watch other people do it successfully. And all I know is what is right for me. All I know is that I can only follow my warmth. I believe very deeply that the universe is not concerned with how many people know my name or are jealous of my lifestyle, but how many people I directly affect in a positive way. Interpersonally. That is what I believe from my soul. And so when it comes to social media and needing to put yourself out there, and obviously this is a huge part of it, anytime I'm going to release something that is that in any way can feel slightly ick or self-promoting to my own spirit, I have to ask myself, what does this serve for someone else? Am I encouraging someone else? Am I giving a piece of advice that's changed my own life that I feel like I must share? Is this a song that I really feel like is meaningful to me that might be joyful or something for someone else? But I'm not going to lie, like I've made so many videos that no one will ever see because I have to keep checking it and go, yeah, I feel like this is me trying to show off that I can belt this right now, or something like that. And that is not to speak ill of other people who have a different compass and how it works for them. I'm just always going, if it's not coming from me that feels like a gift, then what kind of person will I be 5 minutes later? And do I need to see how many likes I got? You know, does it just feel about me, or does it feel about the show or something that I'm contributing? But I'm admittedly bad at this, and probably not, you know, the poster child that a show would want, you know, promoting it. So I'm trying to do that for beaches and everything. And I'm trying to put myself more out there. I heard a puppy was given to me. Given to me.
Fred is here, and so is Loki. Loki's a 90-pound. They're brothers. We have blended our families, Brady Bunch style. And so they're, hey guys, thank you so much. Thank you. They love to, you know, look out that front window here and really, they're
doing
proud.
their job.
They're doing their job.
We're 4 dog ladies here. We get it. No worries.
But I was really come after from a certain show I was doing when I first started social media. And it was not understood in the way that it is now. So I was kind of seen as a
rule breaker.
To places who really loved to control what the narrative at all times, which was very difficult. And so, but I do feel like I really got early on the magic that can be associated with being the CEO of your life, running yourself as a business, and understanding that just because you're in a show, it's not the show that runs you all the time. You're allowed to step out and also give people a really beautiful view of what goes into the process of beginning a show, being in a show. There are so many people who never get the chance to come see a show, right? It's a way to boost ticket sales, to both scratch each other's backs, but at the same time, it's also a way to really allow people to get to know who you are. I just happen to be I will never show anything that isn't real. I don't believe in sugarcoating or you know, everything is sunshine all day, every day. I mean, we're in a really shitty time right now. And so for me, it's as important if I'm doing a brand collaboration with somebody, that's fine. But I also am very, very opinionated in my views about women's rights and gay rights and our current government. And so all of that has to come through in order for me to put things out there and have them be super authentic. And it's hard because it's a business. Social media it's a business, and it is hard to feel like you are remaining authentic while also
not selling something.
Oh yeah, I mean it's why Vosk in the City started. It was something that I did not come up with this idea. I was approached with it as a thing to do because people thought I would be crazy enough. The word is eccentric now. Eccentric enough to do it for a gala, for this amazing Maestra Gala for women and non-binary composers and conductors in our business to understand each other. And they just said, we're going to put you on the street and you ask a bunch of questions about women and non-binary people. I'm like, oh, bet. So, but that became a thing where Boston the City is not for me. It's for people to feel seen and like they have an outlet to to talk about like sometimes some nasty stuff. I don't just like to go on the street and say like, "Hey, let's talk about Skittles." It's like, no, today's episode is on Epstein and the Epstein list, or today's episode is on immigration, or it's there's always something brought in there which requires a lot of different opinions, and I have found that the reason people like watching it is because it's like a salve of healing in a way of people to be out there going, oh my God, I feel that way too. Or I'm a kid in Ohio and I haven't come out to my parents and I loved your episode on Pride. It made me feel seen.
It's
So
probably unlikely because you're in New York City, but if you ever come across someone who you just want to throttle with the microphone because of their opinions.
oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I interviewed a woman that was like, I was talking about Trump and the election, and she was like, yeah, what the election was stolen. And I was like, whoa. And so, but it came up, the way that it came across, as the cast of Hell's Kitchen likes to tell me, is that I, with my eyes, read her pedicure for filth. And that apparently said it all. I mean, I don't remember doing it, but that's, you know what I mean? I can't say to people, this is also the thing inside of me is your opinion to you is true. Yeah. So whatever it is that you say, I can't say to you.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. How do you handle it?
Yeah. But for me, it's the type of thing where I can put it out there and everybody can say, wow, that is a crazy opinion. And it begs the question of, do a lot of other people who have this opinion go, God, that does look crazy. Is there a
once you hold up the mirror, they go, oh dear God, he's not going to be on Mount Rushmore? Why was I thinking that for the longest time?
Is there a mother?
Look, I'm warming up.
Kelli, take the rest of it.
Well, look,
well, I did have one thing I was going to say that I realized while she was talking. Well, I think I grew up single mom, scraping every penny. I was raised by a single mother, scraping every penny together. Then other kids came along on two families. I was the oldest. I had to be hyper vigilant in every single way. I felt like an old soul from the time I was young, but it was always about keeping it all together. And then I got to get the hell out of here so that I can come back and take care of people or send money home or whatever it is, right? And when she's talking about being blessed because you're sitting at a cubicle, I've been a clown. I've driven a clown car. Like I know I've done every possible job you can imagine in the world. As we all have, I'm sure. And I think I realized that acting allowed me to be who I really was. If I could put it in a character, then I could say, here I am. It really felt like I could expose myself through character. And I think what happens with social media is there's no character to put myself inside of. And so you have to really figure out who you are if you're going to put yourself out there.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think myself has been compartmentalized into all these different shapes to take care of everything around me and make sure everything was perfect and playing the right role and wearing the right hat. And so then when it's just on you, it makes you go, oh my God, who are you?
You right back.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. I really relate to that, Kelli.
Do you relate to that?
Do.
Okay.
Because, and I've said this before in the podcast, when we started doing this podcast, I wouldn't really say anything because I would hide in characters when I worked. So I would do characters so that I wouldn't show who I really was to the world. It was like a license to cry or be funny, but that's not me. It's character. So no one would ever really know who I was. And so in order to get over that, I started doing the Moth Radio Hour stories and forcing myself to get up on a stage and tell personal stories, which was so terrifying to me. But it's the only way that I could do this was to be like, you know what? It's actually okay to be who you are. But it took me so long into my 50s to accept that about myself. And so I think that is why I struggle with social media. I really struggle. I do not like to being myself. It's very hard.
Yeah, the camera. It's like it's not the same when you're filming something. You're in character. It's just like it's on you, and you're like, okay, okay, I think I know what I think about this. I think I know what I am.
Right.
But like, and the perfectionist brain and all of that, but I think it's a worthy exercise. I do, because it makes you sort of figure out who you are in a different way.
Yeah.
And the
But
truth
then there's
is,
that judgment.
because of the business aspect, it's a necessary thing. Actors need to have a social media following to get cast. You want to write a book, you need a social media following to get a publishing deal. Like it's part of the deal now.
Yeah.
And whether or not we agree with it or like it, it doesn't matter. It's part of the deal.
And we have a
Right.
choice in the matter, right? Just like you told your beautiful client, you're stuck there, you don't like it, but you do have a choice. So I could get off at any moment. That is my choice. Like that's how we are empowered. Talking to you guys, you are so aptly cast. Do you feel that way? Are you like, oh my God, there are almost no perfect roles for me than this in this moment? It really is something.
It's really
like
true.
it's organic, authentic. Give me 3 adjectives for both you that link you and your character.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, okay. Jess already has hers. I know it.
I don't, but you go ahead.
You don't? Okay.
Kelly, go ahead, Kelly.
No, I don't have mine. I'm saying please go.
Okay.
Take me a second.
I would say vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
grit, and self-deprecation.
Hmm.
Kelly, do you think that's right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brave. I mean, there's so many things I would say that you're
chutzpah. I
like
was gonna say
CC with.
chutzpah.
Yeah, with grit's like an umbrella of like hustle, chutzpah, fearlessness.
Get her done.
Yeah.
Come on, Kelly.
Unapologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For you. Brainy.
Mm-hmm.
Loyal. Oh, loyal.
Mm.
And I have a third one, but it's not perfect. I was going to say measured because I do think Birdie is measured. But I'd rather go to like something that's more true that I wish wasn't. I'm trying to find it. I think it's not fear because I've gone so far in trying to not be a fearful person anymore. But she's trying to think of what it is. She's trying to break free, right? She's like right there.
Well, could
She's
it be
right
what you
there.
just described in yourself, which is compartmentalized?
Yeah, she's definitely compartmentalized. Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying very much to be integrated, but it's a journey. It's a journey. So
Isn't it?
It's a very cool thing, these two characters, because there are so many traits that exist in Birdie that Cece wants to have so badly, and vice versa.
vice versa, yeah.
And so, things like jealousy come up, things the type of, when we talked earlier about you're basically a sister with this person. So you've gotten to that point where you hurt the people you're closest to the most and the easiest, and where there might not be malintent in those, fights in the fire and those comments, like it oftentimes is quite hurtful, but it comes from such a deeply rooted personal place of insecurity on the other person's behalf that, again, these are things that are so relatable that we've all, projected on, whether it's been onto ourselves or other people, and the relationships we've had in our lives. I can think about my best friend in high school. That was so what it was for 4 years. And these two characters, I think Kelly and I, we worked really hard to make them so grounded and in reality of ourselves feeling so akin to these women and who they are as characters and who we are as Jess and Kelly, that we would sit in Calgary. One of us would go to the other one's room and we would just sit all night and do script work, and just talk about line reads and what we think this really means and how does this really come across. And it's it's unlike any theatrical experience I've had where you really get the understanding of your creative team going, what is it that you want to convey here? How can we
Love
make this
that.
work for you? And that's
Yeah.
Love that.
that's a really incredible thing. We don't get that all the time. You know, this is the first time I've ever gotten to create a leading role ever. And you know, and there comes a time like when you've replaced and you're going into something that has been created already where there are parameters that you have to stick to that were created. And so even if you get liberties here and there, it's not your own. So this has really been
Your own.
our own. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with the 5 questions, but first a word from our sponsor. Both answer. All right. Okay, first question. You have been arrested and you call your significant other to come and bail you out of jail. What do they assume that you have done to land yourself in jail? Jessica.
Fought someone.
What'd you do?
Fought someone physically.
Okay, full on physical. Yes,
Kelly?
fisticuffs.
Yeah, I tackled a man who was grabbing or yelling at a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've done that.
It has happened.
It's actual life.
Describe. Well, this feels weird after that, but here we go. Here we go. Pivot, turn. Describe your perfect sandwich. And I'm talking like breads, dressings. I need the full
Every time we ask
sandwich.
that question, everybody goes, oh,
Everybody goes, oh,
yes.
whether you're gluten-free or not, everybody goes, oh.
Rye bread
Yeah. Marble
or
or seeded rye.
seeded rye.
Okay.
Pastrami or corned beef.
Nice.
You know, in a perfect world, it would be a Reuben. Like in a perfect
Love a good
world
Reuben.
where it fulfills my Polish side.
Yeah.
And like having lived in the Schubert across from Juniors, like they make a really good pastrami Reuben.
Do they give you a Thousand Island on that?
They will give you a Thousand Island. You
Okay.
must
All right.
ask.
Okay.
But like I love a kraut, which is also good for the gut. You know, I love, you know, throw me a pickle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we're in whispering mode now. This is where I live, you guys.
It's sexy. It's sexy, babe.
Perfect, Sammy. Kelly, go.
Gosh darn it. I mean, I was going to say turkey pastrami because I don't eat that, but with coleslaw and Thousand Island, I would do a
Yes.
pumpernickel or a marble, or just like a 5-cheese grilled cheese on a rosemary sourdough.
Oh my
Gosh. With
And do
tomatoes.
you butter each side or do you mayo
Of
each
course.
side? Okay.
Oh, we
okay.
must
Some
butter.
people
That
mayo.
sounds
Okay.
really
okay.
Oh, with their grilled cheese, they mayo.
Yes. It adds
I'll
a
try it.
little, it's less
try
savory and it has a little sour to it if you
I
do
would try
a
it.
mayo on the outside. Yeah.
I understand.
Do you put anything in the grill, like a tomato or a little bacon or something in the grilled cheese?
No.
No,
I would do a green
straight up.
onion every now
Soup.
and then. You can do a little green
Yes.
onion in there.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm lying. A green apple. A green apple is what I would put in there.
Oh, for crunch.
Oh,
Yes,
green apple,
honey.
yeah, I've had
Some
that. That's good.
sweetness.
That's
Oh,
good.
good. Yeah.
Oh my God, French. I love this.
Okay. We walk into your closet. Tell me one item that you will never get rid of for the sentimental value.
God. My wedding dress, but
Oh, your wedding dress.
she's there. She's still
There
there. I put
was-
her on recently.
I was photo. If you're going to go on Instagram, check out the photos. There was never a more beautiful bride in the world.
I believe it.
it. I'm serious.
I
It
believe
was
it.
my favorite day. And it was so long ago. It was 12 years ago now. It's
You look the
crazy.
same.
Oh, thank you.
What are you on now, Steph?
18.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I'm
this year will be
23,
19
ladies.
years.
I'm on
yeah.
23.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm just getting married
You're
for the
just-
It's
first
so
time.
exciting, Sadie.
So great.
I think for sentimental value, it would be a boa that Zach Posen designed for me for Carnegie Hall. I have no use for it. I have literally no use for it except walking around naked with a boa on, but I've done it.
There you go. Honeymoon, birthdays,
doesn't mind.
anniversaries,
Dave don't mind.
Wednesday,
Yeah, he don't mind.
doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, we already did little three, so I'll just do one. What was one micro joy that you noticed today before this interview?
My husband and I put on Where's My Husband because he's never heard it. And I was like, how have you not heard this song? So I put it on the boom and he was like, this is a bop. And we were just dancing in the bedroom. And then my dog came in from her nap and was like, turn down the drums. I'm trying to nap. It was so joyful.
I don't know. I've been waking up. I've had these 2 weeks of kind of like what I have sarcastically called being a trad wife here in St. Louis and being like, I'm going to try my hand at just not doing anything but being a house mother wife. And I mean, it's like something that I'm not good at, but I have found a joy in the quiet and the solitude of taking a respite for a little bit and taking a minute to enjoy, being able to cook, which I love to do so much, or enjoy being able to like just spend time and not working all the time. I haven't,
Sure.
I haven't, we all work so much, like I take pride in the fact that we are women who do it all, because I think it's so nice to see people like the two of you. I mean, really all of us. I
We're
love
workhorses.
we and you know what? It's inspirational to watch and to see, especially, like Stephanie, having been a fan of yours for so long, like coming into this business, you sort of look to these
Nerds.
goalposts of people who do it, right? And who are, Stephanie has done it all. She's done the thing. And like you look at it as a woman who wants to be able to do all of those things as well and say, this is possible. So but it's also nice to have the balance of that being, I get to just breathe for a minute.
Mhm.
And that's okay too.
Balance. You have to have that.
Yes.
Okay, last question. If you were a nail polish color, what color would you be, and what would your cheeky little name be?
Mhm. It would be this color that I currently have, which is like a cat eye situation. I don't know if you guys see
I
it.
do
Similar.
see it.
Which is fun.
Wow.
Wow, you thought that sound only came out with sandwiches?
Oh no, I really like it, and I
No.
got a name for it right away, but I'll let you do
You
it.
did? Oh,
Yes.
I want to know yours, but I think I would call myself like engine number 9.
Oh, mine. I took it from the Scottish play, and all of a sudden I thought of Out Damn Spot,
Oh,
because those nails really look like,
right?
something happened. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Something went down.
Something went down.
Kelli?
I mean, I love a deep red. That's like my go-to color for nails. What color am I? Wait, I was with a group of friends once and we were like, what wine are you?
Oh, there you
And
go.
yeah, and somebody called me like a Bordeaux or something, a deep red because it had many layers. And I was like, I like that. So I'll say something like that, a Bordeaux.
Yes,
Bordeaux.
Barrett Bardot.
Mary Bordeaux. Yes.
Stephanie?
I'm on fire,
Stephanie?
you guys.
She's on fire.
All
So
of
you're
the
on nail
cylinders.
polish
Oh, they're
line.
all going. And then I'm going to need a nap
night,
because I've
night.
just
Yeah.
been too witty. I'll tell you, I go back to New York and I walk and I still think I'm walking fast and like everybody's going real fast. I try to keep up in a conversation. I'm like, okay, yeah, I've lost it. I've lost the wit. I've lost the sharpness.
Stephanie, where are you?
In Northern
where-
California.
What?
We're at the foot of Lake Tahoe, baby. We're just, it's quiet. It's quiet.
Oh,
And believe it or not, it's been 5 years. This has been home base
wow.
for us. I know.
Unreal.
So we try to, coming from privilege, everybody, this is so much privilege coming out of my mouth right now, but it's allowing choices. And when they are right, we all say yes as a family. And when they're not, this life that has kind of become smaller in the sense that we can afford it. And I can still put my head on the pillow and go, okay, the bills will be paid. She will get her school uniforms. Like things, it's going to move right along, even if I don't say yes to this particular project. So I don't know how long it will last. And that goes back to our conversation where this is what it is right now. And I
Where
am
your feet are.
living where I'm living,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
That's
Kelly, do you
what
have
needs to
kids?
happen now.
Do you have
No,
kids,
just
Kelly?
just little Josie Ray
We met her.
Josie the
and the
dog.
siblings, all the siblings that are,
Yeah.
I feel like my brother who I grew up with, I definitely helped raise, and he's doing good. He's doing good.
Well,
Well,
Dave
we're
and I,
excited.
we just bought a
Yeah.
house in Montclair. We close on Monday.
Oh,
We
great
Did you
for
really?
you.
Yes.
Okay, so will you
Yes.
drive into the city or will you take the train?
I prefer to drive, so
Okay.
we've worked that out. It's very meditative for
Yep.
me
Good.
Me too. I love
some respects, but we just sort of, I said like I'm gonna sell my city pad
Yep.
and let's like I went to school at Montclair State, so like I know the area very well. And
Yep.
when I brought Dave out there, he kind of said, "Oh, I totally understand this, like the actual, suburban feel in a
Mhm.
semi-urban environment of like taking a breather and having some space." So it is, I just figured like why not tack that on to a year that's already like
Just do all
beaches,
the things. Yeah.
wedding. Yeah.
New job,
Wedding.
wedding, new house, do it all. The top
Will Dave
three.
move, or are you gonna be going to both?
He'll need to still come back to St. Louis probably
Yeah.
20 to 30% of the time. But as a
That's not bad.
strong independent woman, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Look,
that.
if you run into Stephen Colbert at like a grocery store or anything,
Oh.
you just tell him, I
Yes.
love him a lot. I
Oh
love
my
him
God.
a lot.
My husband told me
he's
this
the
morning that
best.
there were rumors that he would run for president, and I almost cried.
No, I don't see that happening.
Oh,
What? No.
that would
He's
be
too
that would be
level-headed.
wild.
I think he's
If he took
smart.
his character and everyone thought they were voting for
Yes,
the
yes.
Republican, and then
Correct.
he just,
Yeah.
that would be
I love
amazing.
him. The
Oh,
world needs
Yeah,
more
he's
of him.
amazing.
love
I know.
him.
Yeah.
All right,
Ladies, this was fabulous.
Oh, we're so
Thank you.
grateful and we're excited for Beaches, and I will be there crying. And all of you the new folks to the Beaches, do this. Let yourself be introduced to it by the musical and then watch
Go
the
watch
movie. Those of us that had the movie before, bring it with you and let it sort of, I don't know, cushion what you're experiencing. Don't let it inform. This is the beauty of theater. It is a different medium, different actors, but the same heart and the same guts. That's the beauty. So go see Beaches.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Bye,
You guys are
everybody.
so
Thank you so
beautiful.
much.
This was
I
great.
loved
Lovely to
this.
see you.
You guys, I loved it so much. I could have talked to you for hours.
We kind of do. We just make it like a round table and we just start chit-chatting. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great
amazing.
podcast. What you're doing is beautiful, and the
thank
conversations
you.
you're having. Yeah,
Really.
thank you.
We love
Okay,
it.
go have your.
Now, what struck a chord with us?
Okay, bye.
Oh, that was so fun.
It was like sitting,
It
with
really-
girlfriends.
they really
and
are
chatting.
their characters.
They are their
Oh my God.
characters. Yes. Yes.
I haven't seen that movie since the 80s when it came out in the 80s, right?
I needed to remind, yes, the movie.
Yeah, I
wrote
saw it
down,
several
actually.
times when it came out, but I haven't seen it since. I remember I was really into it because I had this girlfriend and we thought we were them.
Of
And-
course. That's the
Of course.
beauty of the piece. You think
Yeah.
you're them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember it very clearly. Plus, I'm obsessed with Mayim Bialik because I love her podcast. So
Yeah. And she
But-
was amazing in the
Oh my
movie.
God, she was brilliant in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but they really are their characters. I mean, they're
Mhm.
they're so
Mhm.
those two women.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
funny.
I'm anxious to see it. I love the whole design of Beaches. They touched upon it, but one of my favorite thing in musicals is when there's a show within the show. I just
Yeah.
get really excited when, there's a mini performance within the proscenium of the show you're seeing,
Yeah.
and Beaches allows for that. Yeah, I think their energies are exactly right. This clip that is out from Beaches the musical, they're starting to just show like their voices together, their interactions together.
Yeah.
And all of that is so special. And I do think we need like a friendship love story. I think it's really, people respond to that a lot. It doesn't need to be a
Was that
romantic
what the roommate
love
was about?
affair.
The play? The roommate?
You
I
know,
didn't
I'm
see it.
embarrassed to say I don't know.
Yeah,
I
didn't
don't
see it.
know.
but I think
No.
it was. I think it was about female friendship.
Interestingly enough, I think Michael Arden, his production team was one of the lead producers on The Roommate.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so that's interesting. What else this season is super different for Broadway. Musicals are coming in that were not slated to come in. So I think it's affording and allowing things that perhaps may not have had in their time this forum. And I'm so excited to see whether I think Beaches is a limited run, 6 months maybe?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is a limited run. I believe that there is a tour that will go out afterward. But to know that there are these houses that are available and ready for these sort of stories that didn't necessarily have a fast track to Broadway always makes for an unexpected, unorthodox, and really exciting season. Because so much of the time we
in
can live.
December there were no shows. It was
Right.
Schmigadoon, Versailles, which closed. Two Strangers Carry a Cake, and what was the that was it.
Well, the new Lost Boys was coming in. That was
and the
definitely
new Lost
coming
Boys was
in.
coming in. That was it. And so then because there were shows that were supposed to come in that didn't.
Right, but it's allowing Titanic. It's allowing
Right.
Beaches. But so many of the time we can look at the last season, look down the pike, and go,
There
"Oh
were
yeah,
a
next
gazillion
season,
last
is coming in."
Yeah.
That's not what this season is.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of fun to
interesting.
reveal it like
It
a
is.
little onion, peeling
It's
it like an
always
onion. Mhm.
Anyway, this was great.
Yeah, totally. I love you so
I
much.
love you so much.
Okay,
I'll
talk to you
see
later.
soon. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Stages podcast is produced by Mary Lee Fairbanks and Stephanie J. Block. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join us on social media pages or sign up for the mailing list at stagespodcast.net. That is also where you will find Stages swag. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share and rate and review the show. It really helps us grow. Big thank you to Noah Kaiserman and Garrett Healy for the original music, and Allison Arns, who has been with us since day one. See you soon.